Well, I just hung up talking to my brother on the phone, and we were talking about different things. One of which was a story I told him today about 100 years ago when I had an airplane. It was a Bonanza, a V-tail Bonanza. The number on the side was 621 Zulu, and I was flying from Albuquerque to Clovis, New Mexico, with his wife, who was pregnant at the time. And we took off from Albuquerque, and it was nice and pleasant. The wind was good, the weather was good, but we got out to a place near Santa Rosa, New Mexico, where the clouds were starting to form in the east. And so, as we went along, it got worse and worse, and pretty soon we were traveling at such a altitude that the clouds had come in and formed underneath us, and it was solid clouds, and so we could not see the ground. Well, I was a VFR pilot only. I had no instrument rating, so I was unable to fly through the clouds. So I had to make a decision, go back to the west toward Albuquerque, find a place to land and refuel, or keep going to the east, not knowing where the clouds would end. I knew where the Clovis airport was, and when I got to that destination, it was completely clouded over. So what I had to do was just start circling and looking for holes in the clouds that I could fly down through to get below the clouds. Finally, I saw this hole, and I took off for it. And I don't know how I did it, but I dipped the wings and I did whatever it took at the time to kind of go to the left, as I recall, and go down and spiral through that little hole. And finally I made it through the clouds, and I saw the airport eventually landed safe. But the story was never really told to anyone other than myself, because no one but me knew the severity of the problem we were in. And after we landed and got out of the airplane, I was the only one that was shook up and no one else knew what had happened, and just thought that was ordinary kind of stuff. So it's kind of interesting to think back now and think that I had my brother's wife, who was pregnant at the time with one of his girls, and how we were blessed by God to get through a situation that could have been very severe. There were 3 lives at stake, and by grace we came through alive. And I suspect that no one knows this story but me.